You're listening to the Major Pod Network, the only place where your favorite toy store, card shop, arcade, theme park, and arena are all on the same block. Scratch that major itch.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 42 of MC True Long Island Story. I'm your host, always ready, Matt Cardona, the internet champion, and still your AIW absolute and intense champions.
Wow. I'm also here, producer of the show, Smart Mark Sterling Esquire. I certainly did not think you would be coming home with those belts. No offense.
Well, I mean, it was a non-title match. It was a six-man tag team match at AIW.
Oh.
It was myself, Broski number one, Broski number two, against Stiffy McGee, that other guy he teams with, and they had a mystery partner. I came out, I said, who's the third man? Is it Mabel? Is it Hulk Hogan? Is it Britt Baker? Turns out to be Josh Prohibition. Thought he was dead, but he came out. He looked dead. He looked dead. He looked like he hadn't seen sunlight in a while. But he came out, huge pop.
Yeah.
Huge pop. And he cut a promo on me. You could tell it was a shoot promo. But hey, the guy can still go in the ring. I'll tell you that. He can still go. Hell of an athlete, hell of a competitor. And, our team lost, unfortunately. I did not get pinned. Of course not.
Right.
And, we'll put some of this footage in the Major Pod Network YouTube vlog that we put up every once in a while. But then afterwards, Stiffy McGee puts me through a door.
Another door.
Not even through a table. Listen, I don't understand this whole door situation, guys. Get some fucking tables. I know it can be done. I did it for FWF.
Yeah. Well, speaking of FWF, huge week last week. The Major Pod Network presents FWF Live 2. Broski with Bob Cardona versus the Big O with Rory Fox was a headlined attraction on this show. We want to talk about FWF here?
Yeah, I mean, still time to order at MajorWPod.com. We watched it. It live streamed Thanksgiving night, 8 o'clock. We all watched together. Guys, full disclosure, it wasn't actually live. We filmed a couple of months ago. But yeah, me versus the Big O one-on-one. And after the match, Frankenstein came home to Dr. Frankenstein. Mm-hmm. The Big O's back, so we got to get him on the pod. I don't want to spoil everything. Watch the match. It's a Long Island street fight. Couple more days to order it. Order the replay, MajorWPod.com. And there's a lot of cool merch bundles, too. And if you're a Micro Brawler fan, if you order, you get the Headbangers, the first figures since the late 90s. So exclusive to FWF Live 2. A lot of cool stuff. So check it out. I was very proud of the show. You did a great job editing it.
Oh, thanks.
And I think it was, I love the first one, which is available now on DVD, by the way. MajorPodMerch.com. DVD's awesome. Really, really cool, and it's affordable. And but FWF Live 2, I thought was a better show.
Nice.
We're all learning. We're all getting better.
Yeah, for sure. All right. For feedback for last week's episode 41, I'll tell you, controversial episode, just like the Z was 10 years ago. Do you have any follow-up, or do you want me to start rifling through this?
I don't have any follow-up off the top of my head. Maybe something you say will jar memory.
Okay, Making Moves Major says, spot me, Sterling's other channel helped me unlock my thermostat. People, awesome. I feel, have been finding this more and more. In a past life, I worked for a plumbing company and helped people make thermostat videos, which are being found on the internet at an alarming rate. So yes, I do help you with your plumbing needs. Man with the plan, SXE, sorry, but that's some effed up clickbait about John Morrison. Saying R.I.P. John Morrison in the title and then saying the untimely death of John Morrison in the description. I had to go Google about his death and find out he was alive. What the F is wrong with you people? Blocking this channel now.
I don't think it was any clickbait because he did die in canon.
Right.
In Z True Long Island Story canon, he died. So it's like saying Luke Skywalker dies. Like Mark Hamill didn't die. We didn't say John Hennigan died. We said John Morrison died. There was no clickbait. This isn't Sean Ross Sapp. We're not putting out news and putting it behind a Patreon wall. This was real. John Morrison died. John Hennigan still kicking.
Yeah, pretty insane. Harry Flynn, that Zack Ryder figure would have been Basic Series 22. So we were wondering about that.
Basic 22. I remember. I think it's the next year at Comic-Con. So 2012. 2012 Comic-Con. I'm there, and I feel like there's 3 Zack Ryder figures like at Comic-Con. I was like, well, this is great. Maybe I'm wrong with the timing, but I was super happy it came out. But like, also, I'm a figure guy. I'm bummed because I'm like, well, it has the wrong boots. There's no splatter paint. But beggars can't be choosers, right?
What would you have been there just like, hey, I wanted to go to Comic-Con as a fan, or were you there with the WWE?
I was there with WWE as talent.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Harry Flynn again. Rock and Cena never did tag again. So
Never say never in this business, though.
Right. True. Could happen. Zayad Ashraf, he says, I remember vividly what was happening that week. So this would be last week. That week, my internet was out for 2 weeks, and I was so desperate to watch the show and find out what happened. I managed to play it on my Nokia N70, even though it cost me loads for balance and shit, and the quality wasn't the best. When the internet came back on, I was shocked to hear Morrison was gone.
That's great.
I feel like that was like a lot of people like were really into the weekly show. They were. It's like appointment viewing. Now
I remember. So Morrison has that match with Miz. It's like a falls count anywhere match or an anything goes match, and that's his goodbye, right?
Right.
And I remember during the day, like remember the giant like W that was on the stage.
Yeah.
During that time period,
Mm-hmm.
I remember he like was gonna jump off that and was like trying to see, where he'd have to put his footing, and he like slipped and like fucked up his ankle. And John, he's like Mr. Parkour, Mr. like high flyer. So like he had to go through this match with like a fucked up ankle.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So and he also actually almost died.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we were just talking about people appointment viewing. Now, are you aware this episode 42 that we were about to talk about goes up December 5th? Okay? That's Monday, December 5th. So
do we miss time?
So I mean, obviously you're in Japan this week. So my thinking is you could not get this episode up when you were supposed to, and you couldn't get it up until that Monday for whatever reason.
Are there any tweets about that?
There is some tweets that you just tweet like it'll be up, blah blah blah.
And like, so I was watching this. I'm like, why am I like in a hotel room? But holy shit! Like we just got back from Europe. Now I'm in Japan.
Yes.
Like,
so
oh my god, crazy travel schedule.
Yeah. So here's the schedule. Monday the 28th, you are at Raw in South Carolina.
Okay.
Tuesday.
So that's where I lose to Del Rio.
No, that is when you beat Jack Swagger.
Okay.
That's you talk about that in this episode.
Okay.
Tuesday, seemingly you travel because Wednesday, the 30th, you're in Japan.
Okay.
And then Thursday, the 30th, you're also in Japan. And then Saturday, I guess you're traveling home. Sunday, you're home or whatever. And then Monday, you're back in Raw in Tampa.
There's no way I was home.
So whatever.
No way. Yeah.
So Japan Friday, then by Monday, you're in Tampa.
Yeah. First of all, love Japan. We'll talk about it when we get to the Japan spot in the episode. Love Japan. One of my favorite places to go. I've only been there for wrestling. I would love to go back without wrestling, so I can really explore more. It's just the best. I mean, there's on our Major Pod Network YouTube channel, we have a whole vlog that Brian and I just went to Japan. I guess like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago.
One of the most famous, one of our best vlogs, or most viewed.
And I went to Tokyo Disneyland. I want to go back there. I want to go back to Ribera.
Yeah,
it's the best.
So interesting travel. I'm guessing you missed it for that reason. But let's dive into things. But before that, let's do the Broski of the week. But before that, let's hear a little word from our sponsors.
The Major Pod Network has a new tag team partner. Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Everybody needs some liquid courage to make their own weekly purchases. Scratch that figure itch and scratch that PBR itch.
Get your PBR beer, get your PBR hard coffee, and get your PBR stronger seltzer.
8%? If you're listening to this, you're already a major mark. Now it's time to become a major PBR mark.
Use the hashtag MajorPBR and post your pictures and videos of you major marking out.
Pabst Blue Ribbon and the Major Pod Network, the new tag team champions of the world.
Of the world!
But we're definitely not getting any new figures from Mattel.
The Broski of the Week.
All right. The Broski of the Week. If you're the Broski of the Week, you will get this. A signed Matt Cardona 8x10 available on mattcardonamerch.com. You will get the Broski of the Week headband. Not available anywhere. They're sold out. There's only enough left to get to episode 50 for the Broskis of the Week. Check eBay maybe. And then you'll get this Broski of the Week sticker. Not available anywhere. So all you got to do is leave a review wherever you get your podcast. Screenshot that review, and then go take a shot. Take a swig of that PBR, which, by the way, PBR, major PBR, we love you. Go to my Twitter at the Matt Cardona. Go to my pinned tweet. Quote that pinned tweet, and in that quoted tweet, repost your picture of the review and use the hashtag Broski of the Week. So this week, Broski of the Week is at Marking Out.
Hey,
fellow podcast.
we talked about them last week.
Yeah. This podcast is fantastic. It is so much fun to watch on YouTube because it feels like going back in time. It is crazy to think 10 years have passed. I look forward to watching the new episode every week, just like I did when Z True Long Island Story would come out. We get to be fans all over again and find out behind-the-scenes secrets. We can never thank you enough for helping push Marking Out to that next level when we first started in 2011, and believe in some way we also made history on Z True Long Island Story as we were not only eventually the Broski of the Week, but also had the Are You Serious Bro tweet of the week 6 times. Surely that is a record, right? Keep up the awesome work. Well, I guess they were double Broski of the Week because they're Broski of the Week again.
Awesome.
Right? Wow.
And yeah, sorry for stealing your podcast name for 1 week back in the pandemic era.
I knew right away. I'm like, I think there's a podcast name now.
All right, so tweets that week, talking about tweets. Matt Cardona, December 4th, coming soon. Okay, by the way, I can now see pictures on your tweets. So I don't know if this is when Twitter switched from like TwitPic to whatever the heck they're using.
Yeah.
But the pictures exist now. So coming soon, Broski foam fists, and you had a picture of the foam fists.
Okay, so here's a story about this. So I love foam items. I love them. I have a huge collection of foam items. I think I have every single WWF foam item. I'm not counting like the ones they made like in the 2010 plus era, like all the Cena, Daniel Bryan, Fandango. I'm not counting them, except for mine. I'm counting like from the 80s to like the early 2000s.
Right.
I'm missing that I know of. There's like so many Hogan hands that are like just different font.
Yeah.
So I am missing those technically, some of those. So I wanted the fist, for the woo woo woo. I knew it would work. I knew it would be a thing, and I was pitching for it. It's not like the merch team didn't see the vision. But they didn't see the vision. Like it was more like, oh yeah, that's a cool idea, maybe one day, Not like a no way. Because the merch team was super cool and they got me. They were on the Rider Revolution train,
Yep.
But it was after Survivor Series. They're like, man, how great would that have been if everyone had that orange foam fist? So, and like, boom, the next week they started ordering them, right? Because it's the next week.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
That's true.
Like, order, designed, everything.
But it wasn't even just one. It was two.
No, it's one fist. It's the front and the back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No,
all right.
That must be a pick of the front and back.
Got it.
Actually, in my office, that's one of like the very rare Zack you can't really see. Maybe I can tilt the camera a little bit.
Yeah, let's see.
I would like to see. Can you kind of see it?
Oh, yeah. There it is.
Yeah, it's one of the very few like Zack Ryder things I keep on display because it meant so much to me.
Yeah. First foam item.
Yeah, and only foam item. But On the live events, I would bring it out. Live events, I would come out with everything. Because on TV, I didn't want to look like such a goof. On live events, I'd come out wearing the wig. I'd give the wig out. I'd have the foam fist, give the fist out.
Hell yeah.
It was great.
Perfect. All right. Matt Cardona, November 30th. About to Zack attack in Japan. You have a picture of like the arena. It looks really cool. So it's you can see that right now. It's interesting to be able to see these pictures now, and I think it adds a whole nother dimension to these tweets.
I would love to see him, yeah.
November 28th, another win for Long Island Ice Z tonight on Raw. Where's my title match? We're still building. We obviously know you get that title shot later this month. November 30th, couldn't come to Japan without getting one of these. #protein, and it is a picture of your Ribera jacket.
Oh, Ribera, legendary steakhouse in Japan. You walk in there, pictures of wrestlers literally like covered on the ceiling. There's pictures of wrestlers. It's incredible. It's so cool. Definitely check it out. It's in our vlog from Japan from a couple years ago. Can we link that in the notes in the comments or whatever? Yep. But yeah, so just to go and get that legendary jacket, like for instance, Mark, like if you as a civilian walked in there, like there's not like a merch section. You can't just buy the jacket. They only give the jacket to the workers, brother.
Really?
Yeah. So that was my first one. I believe I have 3 now.
I think Kowloon's needs a jacket.
That'd be cool. But yeah, it's a Ribera Steakhouse jacket. It's history, baby. And to get one was man, like a dream come true.
Do you remember who you went to Ribera with this time? This would have been your first time.
First time at Ribera. I feel like there's definitely pictures out there. Maybe we could put it up if we find it. I feel like Cena's there. I want to say like MVP shows up because he's there. Because like he's just in Japan, So it's just known to the wrestlers that this is a wrestling friendly place, like Kowloon's is. This is not like Kowloon's is a wrestler friendly place. This is like a wrestling like church. Like you walk up, there's pictures of Hogan like in the front, like decked out around the building. Inside, it's just all wrestling pictures. It's just wrestling.
Got it. Okay, that's pretty cool.
People go there who aren't wrestling fans, maybe, but I don't know why.
And it's kind of like a rite of passage as a wrestler to get that jacket, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
That's cool. All right. So you saw that jacket he got. Now, how many jackets have you ended up getting?
No, so now I think I have 3 total.
That's awesome. And you have them still, right?
Oh, yeah. I would never, I don't think I would ever get rid of them.
Is it cool or not cool to wear the Ribera jacket? Are you not allowed to wear that anymore?
I think like it was cool in like the early 90s and like not cool, but I think you could wear it again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
it's
saying?
kind of come back around. Okay,
yes.
Yeah.
One of the Ribera jackets I have is like an LOD Ribera jacket. Like a special, like LOD had their own versions of it.
Really?
Like Road Warriors Gym, Ribera Steakhouse. Like so.
Wow. Okay.
And that's the thing. Like you could tell some of these jackets. It's so weird too because sometimes, and I've seen other people get the jackets too, and sometimes like I don't get a jacket like, because I take it back. I feel like I've gotten a jacket every time. But I feel like some of the jackets, like, oh, they must have made this year, right? And sometimes the jackets, like the one I got, the Road Warriors Gyms, like this is definitely from like 90, 91. Like where they just have these, like, how many do they have back there?
Right, but that's pretty cool because, man.
Yeah.
I wonder what it would fetch on the old eBay.
I wonder.
All right, December 2nd, on the plane back to the USA. Sitting behind Real Kelly, but I'm ahead of her when it comes to Twitter followers. Sick!
What a bird, baby. I saw Kelly this week at Wrestle Cage. She walked past my table a couple times. She didn't say hi to me. I didn't say hi to her.
You should have said, I have more Twitter followers than you. Actually, I don't know if you still do.
I probably do. I like Kelly.
All right. Matches you had this week. Zack Ryder defeats Jack Swagger in 3 minutes and 24 seconds on Monday Night Raw, number 966, at the Colonial Life Arena in Columbia, South Carolina. Like we said, 2 days later, The Big Show and Zack Ryder defeat Dolph Ziggler and Kevin Nash in 12 minutes and 35 seconds.
What? That's a real match?
Yes.
Oh, holy shit. No way.
Yes.
Bro. We need to get some footage of this. Like, how wild is that? That like I have no memory of that match. I knew a team with the Big Show, but against Kevin Nash and Ziggler.
But it's interesting because you were teaming with Nash, right? In the other matches?
No, I was against Nash.
Okay. So
I had no idea I worked him again. And the Giants, my partner, was there heat over the neck brace incident? Me and Ziggler were in there with Smash and Slam, Giant and Kevin Nash, or that 2-pack with the neck brace.
You know that you smiled ear to ear walking out to that ring knowing that you played with these Smash and Slams.
Man, I wish
Yokohama Arena in Yokohama, Kanagawa, Japan. Same arena the next night. Zack Ryder defeats Jack Swagger in 8 minutes and 12 seconds. House show.
I definitely remember teaming with Big Show because he's the Broski of the week. We'll get to that. But I didn't know those were our opponents. Shocked.
Pretty cool. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know if the WWE did more shows, but Zack Ryder only did the 2 shows in Japan sort of in the middle of the week here. You do have matches on the Raw that the day this is taped, but we'll talk about that next week.
Okay.
All right, so that Monday Night Raw, though, the Monday the 28th, Colonial Life Arena, the rating is 3.0. The Ryder Revolution continued unabated in Colombia as the Woo 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 Kid fist pumped his way to victory over the dangerous Jack Swagger. With that win, Ryder looked one step closer to receiving his United States Championship match with Dolph Ziggler. You also had a pre-tape. We'll talk about that when we get to the show. The main event of that Raw, CM Punk defeats Alberto Del Rio with Ricardo Rodriguez retained the heavyweight title in 16 minutes. So, nice little Raw there. All right, let's get to episode 42. You are not home. I'm assuming you filmed this in Japan or whatever, some hotel room.
I noticed that right away. It's a hotel.
It says live in the left corner. What's that?
I know why I did that. At first, I didn't know why, and then it comes full circle at the end why it's live.
Aha. Okay, we'll get to that.
Okay,
I
so
know.
Keep that in mind. It says live at the top.
Sign of the week, little woo 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 sign, 3 signs. Good job. Now we get the pre-tape of the century. You do the whole backstage WWE segment. I'll just run through it real quick. You get Eve to sign the petition. But then, you mentioned that if you beat Jack Swagger, you get the shot. Then you ask Eve out on a date. She says she's got to wash her hair. And she walks away. She says, good luck. But you said, call me. And then as you're saying that, Mae Young comes in and says, yes, I want to call you. Give me your number. You and Mae Young, woo, woo, woo.
Unbelievable. I feel like that was a one-taker. It might have been live. It's another one I didn't remember doing until I watched it.
Really?
Yeah.
It was really cool.
I'm watching this. I'm like, where is this going with Eve? I'm like, she's just like, where's this going? She's
but this is like clearly the on-screen start of whatever this.
I don't think it is. I think this is it just so happened to be Eve. I think it's a coincidence that we bring her back.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, interesting. Cool. Were you excited or happy to work with Mae Young, or at least have a shot with Mae Young?
Listen, I thought it was great. On character or on camera, in character, I'm excited, and as a person, I'm excited. It's Mae Young, baby.
Yeah.
So her boobs at WrestleMania. At Royal Rumble 2000. But it was great to Now I feel like I get the merch, and now I'm on getting matches. I'm getting backstage stuff. I feel like I'm a real superstar. So the show is working.
Right. Are you serious, bro? Tweet of the week. No title match for Zack Ryder. No girl for Chiapetta. No contract for Big O. Are you serious, bro?
I mean, all those things are kind of true right now, still 10 years later.
Yeah,
except now it's GCW who's ducking me for that title shot. Because I never got my rematch for the GCW world title. What better place, in my opinion, than Hammerstein Ballroom? New York City sold out. And I'm not saying I'm the reason the Hammerstein Ballroom sold out, but I am saying if I didn't come to GCW, there's no way GCW would have sold out the Hammerstein Ballroom.
Yeah, and I know you have a rematch clause in that downside contract because I'm your lawyer and I looked at it.
Yeah, and then in December, it's going to be me and Chelsea against Alley Rat and Effie. And then, listen, I just want to beat them and be done with them. Bussy, whatever they call themselves. I'm Super Effie, okay? Alley Rat, Super Effie. We should not even be in the same ring. She should be with Effie. Effie and Alley Rat. they're a package deal. Like, she should not be in my presence. I am a star. I need someone like Chelsea Green, who's a cover model. She's on magazine covers. I don't want to be on a poster with Alley Rat. It just brings down my stock. So I just want to beat them and then hopefully go headline the Hammerstein.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Broski of the week. It's the Big Show. He's wearing the wig and the glasses, and he's woo-woo-wooing his ass off in the middle of the ring.
Those giant fucking glasses, right? Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I feel like a fan gave them to me, and I still have them, actually. And I was like, oh, the Big Show's got to wear these.
Yeah.
And Big Show's super cool, awesome guy. The team with him was awesome. I don't have a bad thing to say about Big Show. Love him.
Yeah. All right. You do an in memory of John Morrison segment. Did you edit this?
Leave the memories alone. Yeah, I edited it.
Great job.
Look at that storytelling. Look at that from beginning to end. The storytelling, the slow build, my dad's love for Morrison. And that was one thing I loved about this show is that, whether on WWE TV or not, this show I had the control of, well, at this point. And I was able to tell stories how I wanted to tell them. And yeah, of course, there's some weeks where there's some throwaway segments. Of course, I can't come up with, A+ content for every segment for a whole year. But when you take the highlights, you take the best parts, and you tell that Morrison story, it really connects, man.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And some people thought he actually died.
That's right. Well, he did. He did. John Morrison died. John Hennigan did not die.
Right. And then at the end of that,
maybe that's why his second run wasn't as good because, he was still feeling effects of death.
Oh, right. True.
You know what I'm saying?
100%. Yeah, he was a zombie.
Yeah.
At the end, you have that in memory of graphic. It was really good. Nice
Maybe
little
a little
touch.
out of taste, but it was funny.
I thought it was great. All right, then you got a Scott Stanford segment here. Zack Ryder's bro
Scott
game.
Stanford 101.
Yes, but here's my question: didn't we do this already? I swear to God, we did bro game already.
No, I don't think so. We did Broactive.
Okay, all right. Well,
Didn't
then
do
I
it.
have a distinct memory of watching bro game at some point.
Well, it's a great segment. Because
Yeah,
we're
great
using
segment.
Chippetta, who's putting the Brogate all over, and then he
The
pops-
cut of this goes down, and then comes back. He's got the wig. It's phenomenal.
Stanford
looked
was
like-
great at these little skits.
Yes. All right, so that was a good one. Now, one thing I did notice, bro, what a horrible Broski cut. You had your Zack Ryder shirt cut off in this?
I was never. I didn't quite learn the art of the Broski cut yet.
Like you look like a 6-year-old kid wearing a cutoff shirt.
Yeah.
All right, so you close out the show, and here's the reason why it was live, because you say, woo-woo, you know it, but then the door shuts. Yeah.
Well, you hear a door, like a little something. Either the door opens or door knock or something. I'm like, huh?
Yeah. And it's Ziggler.
cracks with the title.
Son of a bitch.
And then it goes to your TV signal goes out.
Yeah.
That's why it was live, because if it wasn't live, it wouldn't make. Why would I edit that why would I keep that in my show? Storyline wise.
Live episode that came out on Monday, 10 days or 5 days late or whatever it was.
Yeah, because why would I? If this was legit, why would I keep that in?
Yeah.
And this is where I started really getting ballsy, because now on social media, characters mix and it is what it is. People do stuff on their own. It's fine. Back then, A, I'm doing a YouTube show that they don't want me doing. B, it's working, and some people don't like that. Now, I'm using characters and doing physicality and with no permission.
Right. Characters that they're literally doing that feud on TV now.
Yeah. So me and Ziggler are just trying to force their hand here.
Yeah. Now, before we move on, let me ask you this. You said they don't want you to be doing this. Now, this is episode 42. By episode 51, so less than 10 episodes later, you are officially doing it for the WWE. When would that conversation start happening? When does that famous email that we'll talk about happen?
It's already started to happen, because if you remember a couple of weeks ago, I talked about that we would probably be moving soon.
Yes. Okay.
But a lot of that stuff I wasn't like saying on the show. And it will come up. I will get all the emails so I can give you some proper dates. I don't have them off the top of my head. But like I had some very interesting conversations like with Triple H about it. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to move the show. I didn't want to do the show anymore. The point of the show was to get on TV, was to get noticed. It wasn't to have like a YouTube show, a weekly YouTube show. And in all honesty, when I first started it, I kind of had a lot more time to do it. And now I'm on everything. I'm the fucking GM assistant on SmackDown, so I'm on another day. I'm only home a day and a half, and now I got to do this show. And now there's even more pressure to do because the show's hotter than ever, and there's more pressure to deliver.
Yeah.
So like I didn't want to do it anymore because like mission accomplished, right? I got this merch. I'm about to have this match with Ziggler, about to win the US title. Like that's it. That was the show. Like I did it. I didn't want to just keep doing it. But you know, I was kind of told I had to keep doing it. Was not compensated at all for it. And listen, we're not going to get into that right now. That's for another episode. But yeah, I will have all the dates for you, the emails, the conversation with Triple H. You know, if I could do something differently, like I maybe I would have definitely would have talked to Vince McMahon. But that's on me. You know.
Yep.
I would have when I saw everything going to shit with the Kane stuff, and that will be its own episode. We're going to do that after we cover these first 50. But yeah, everything is like great right now, and it quickly turns to shit.
Right. and here's my question for some people. We'll figure this out, but maybe if somebody knows off the top of their head, Harry Flynn, thanks for helping us. So I'm pretty sure that YouTube announces their partnership with the WWE in 2010, but then they sort of like announce new shows the next year. So I'm wondering, when does that happen publicly? When does sort of all these like new shows, including TRUELONG story, happen exactly? Because it would be in the next 9 weeks.
It happens with the launch of TRUELONG story on their channel.
Right.
Because they have a YouTube channel right now, but it's just like, I think NXT's on there, or the clips of Raw, clips of SmackDown. There's no original content. So then that's when my channel, it was like my show was kind of like, see, look what we're doing, which you weren't doing it. I was doing it.
Yes.
You know? So what if we do this, but we do one with Kelly, or we do one with Santino? But Santino wasn't writing it. Santino was, of course he had some input. He wasn't editing it.
Yeah.
When he went home, he went home. He enjoyed his family. I was still doing it. I was still editing it. They didn't give me a fucking dime. They gave me a laptop that was out of the box that probably has like some tracking chip in it. They could probably hear it right now if it's still, you know, has power somewhere. They gave me a shitty camera. That was it.
Right.
And like I said, I don't want to get into it. We're getting into it kind of. Yeah. And
we'll
then,
talk more about it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll go really in depth in that situation for as much as I remember. Honestly, a lot of it I try to like erase my memory because it was just a horrible, horrible time.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, let's get back to the positivity right now. A couple weeks away from winning my first title in WWE against one of my best friends in the business, Dolph Ziggler, who essentially we kind of, you know, obviously WWE started it with the Hugh Jackman thing, but we ran with it on this YouTube show and made it so meaningful. Now, in the grand scheme of wrestling history, is it a meaningful match? Maybe not. But at that time, it fucking was. And
to me, as a fan, it was. Hell yeah.
Well, that's the thing. If you were a fan of Zack Ryder, and a lot of people were, if you're a fan of Dolph Ziggler, and a lot of people were, that was a meaningful fucking match where, you know, could have just been a random U.S. title at TLC match. But no, we put so much into it. WWE, not saying they didn't put much into it. They put as much into it as they would have for a random U.S. title at TLC match.
Right, exactly.
We did the extra.
Yep.
We put in the extra effort and time and storytelling, and it made the match, if you were there or watching at that time, that was a magical moment.
100%. And one cool thing about that is, on the Major Pod Network, my old podcast, the Off the Hop Rope podcast, we paired the perfect beer with the perfect wrestling match for episode 100. We actually had you on and did a watch along of that entire match. So
we actually had to do it twice because didn't you delete it the first time?
was one of somebody. Yeah, I think somebody wasn't recording. I forget.
Probably
but
CPA.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's a really good episode of that. You can sort of get even more on that match that we're building to. But let's finish out the show. But before that, a little word from our sponsors. And we're back. Are you serious, bro? Tweet of the week.
Are you serious, bro?
Just tweet me something using the hashtag Are You Serious, Bro? If it pops me, if I read it on air, you'll get an 8x10. This one comes from Eddie_Shivani. I wonder if he's related to Tony. Enjoying the latest ep of MC TRUELONG on Story with a past blue ribbon. Do you know how hard it is to get one of these in Australia?
I saw that.
Are you serious, bro? Hashtag Major PBR. Well, cheers, bud. All the way in Australia. Even though it costs more money to send the 8x10s there, I'll do it for you.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah.
All right, Know Your Bro. Use the hashtag Know Your Bro on Twitter. Ask a question, and you'll get an 8x10 as well. Sherelle, whose name is Sherelle, Riders Better in 2011. Okay.
She was the Broski of the week last week.
Oh, okay. At NXChar, is the reason you have Z instead of an S for always ready so that your Zack Ryder persona is always with you? Know Your Bro.
So when I started doing the Always Ready, it was while I was Zack Ryder in WWE, so it made sense to add the Z.
Mm-hmm.
And WWE never really ran with the Always Ready, but they didn't trademark. It was never like a thing. So when I got released, and I knew I wanted to still keep the Still Here and the Always Ready, because Still Here didn't necessarily mean like still in WWE. It meant like still in this business. And I think this year I've proven that more than ever. Like fucking 10 years later after this show, I think I'm just as hot, if not hotter, than I was 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. So I'm fucking still here. Like I'm the cockroach of this wrestling business. You cannot kill me. There's no one in this business. And this is not like me talking in character. I truly believe this. And if you can prove me wrong, try to. There's no one in this business who's been counted out more times, whether it be by management or fans or whoever, and has come back more times than me, because I just will not I won't die. I just won't. So the Always Ready is very true. It's how I've lived my career for the past, I don't know. I don't want to say forever, but definitely the better part of a decade, where if I get an opportunity, I better be ready to back it up, because you never know. For someone like me, I don't know when that opportunity is going to come. Some people get them all the time. Some people don't. It is what it is. That's fucking life. You can cry about it. You can whine about it. Or you can work your ass off and be ready for those opportunities. But guess what? If you get that opportunity and you're not ready and you fail, that's on you. I don't want to fail. I still might fail, but I want to have all the tools ready to capitalize and make the most of whatever the opportunity is. So, there was no real reason to change, to answer your question, to get rid of the Z and make it an S. I still think the Z, it leaves a little Zack in there still.
But it also leaves some Brett Matthews in there,
and the
right?
Z is really, from Brett Matthews, some early 2000s, Hardy Boys, Dudley Boys.
Right.
Always. And it's easier also, easier to trademark Always Ready than Always Ready.
Right. All right, this episode, characters debuted, none. I'm not counting Mae Young or Eve because you didn't film that. Returning Ziggler, Chi, and Stamford. This episode, 215,795 views, 5 minutes and 31 seconds. So that's it for episode 42. ProWrestlingTees.com/MajorWFPod. You can find shirts for this show or the Major Pod Network. I am wearing today my brand new Come Again shirt. We're talking about FWF. The Figure Wrestling Federation has come to life. We're talking about Rock Hard Steve Boston right
exactly.
here.
You're ripping off my character, Stone Cold Steve Austin, who was in a big feud with Goldberg. Check out the FWF. It's where we're rewriting the Attitude Era with figures. There's an entire season for free on
Its own feed.
On its own feed. Just type
Search
in
for FWF for Figure Wrestling Federation on
Season
anywhere
2.
you get podcasts.
That's right. Season 2, though, is on our Patreon, patreon.com/MajorWF Pod. A lot of cool stuff going on over there. You get this podcast early and ad-free. I'm not going to plug the Patreon besides, that's a great place to be if you're a figure collector, but also a community of wrestling fans. So check that out. Listen, this is almost over, this show, right? We're going to end at episode 50 with the week-by-week analysis, but then we're going to go into at least 10 more topics that I feel like need to be covered because, like we've said many times, I'm not going to go down that road of negativity for another 50 weeks. So we're going to pick some gem episodes, some hot topics like Kane or first WWE YouTube episode or last YouTube episode, or we'll cover Hosky, we'll cover WrestleMania. So if you have any topics that you think would really be worth covering, let us know. And of course, we're going to do a Q&A to fill in like the gaps. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'd say we have about 17 more episodes left. So we'll be with you for about 17 more weeks.
Hell yeah.
But it's crazy how fast this year has gone by. We're at episode 42. It's 42 weekly episodes.
True. I remember launching for sure. All right, close us out. Plug anything you got.
Like me on Facebook. I really don't think we're going to get this situation figured out by then. Follow me on Twitter. Go back and watch all the episodes, whether it be on YouTube or on the podcast. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/MajorPodNetwork. Subscribe to the podcast feed. Buy all the merch, MattCardonaMerch.com, MajorWFPod.com. And take care. Drink some PBR. Spike your hair. Effie, I'm coming for you, broski.